All right, hey everyone, welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is going to be so cool. I think
Yeah.
this is like specifically for UPSC, right?
Yes.
Current events, we're going to go deep.
Yeah.
We're starting with January 17th, 2025.
All right.
So let's jump into it. First up, West Bengal. A pretty tragic incident.
Yeah.
12 doctors suspended, alleged medical negligence. A woman and her newborn baby died, allegedly, because of expired 5E fluids.
Right. In this case, it just brings up so many questions about the healthcare infrastructure in the country.
Totally.
Are the supplies good? And, the ethical parts of patient care, all that.
Yeah, it really makes you think. It's not just about like what happened, but the bigger picture, what it all means.
Exactly.
And speaking of IV fluids, can you just like remind us what they are?
Oh, yeah.
Just a quick little...
Yeah, IV fluids, it's like, solutions of water, glucose, electrolytes, all that stuff. And they go straight into the vein. Super important for keeping people hydrated,
Yeah.
when they're sick or hurt or after surgery.
Okay.
Really important.
Now, let's switch gears a bit
Okay.
to science and technology. Always a big one for the UPSC, right?
Yeah.
There was this interesting research on Huntington's disease.
Oh, I thought it was really...
It was like about the delayed effects
Yeah.
of the gene mutation.
Right.
Big implications there, for sure.
Yeah, and before we even get into that, can you kind of for our listeners, what is Huntington's disease?
Sure. So HD, Huntington's disease, it's a neurodegenerative disorder.
Okay.
It's caused by like this one messed up gene. It's called HTT.
Okay.
And what happens is this gene, it makes like an abnormal protein. And this protein, it starts messing up brain cells slowly but surely.
Oh, wow.
Particularly those cells involved with moving, thinking, feeling,
So it's inherited. Yeah, that's the thing. If one of your parents has it, you've got a 50-50 chance of getting that messed up gene too.
Wow.
And that's where this new research comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says there's this gap, this delay between getting the bad gene and when you actually start showing symptoms.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So maybe, there's a chance, right?
Right.
That we could figure out a way to slow it down or even stop it during that delay period.
So onto something a little, exciting, space. Everyone loves India's space program, right?
Absolutely.
Big news.
Yeah.
Union Cabinet. They approved ISRO's plan for a third launch pad.
Yes. At Sriharikota.
Yeah. Huge.
This is big for India, in terms of where they want to go in space. Think bigger missions, heavier things they can launch up there. Maybe even, people someday.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of strategic locations, the Siachen Glacier, right?
Yeah.
The highest battlefield in the world.
Yeah.
This might sound kind of crazy, but a private telecom company, they just set up 4G and 5G up there. Can you imagine?
I mean, I don't know about scrolling Instagram up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super important strategically.
Yeah.
For the troops, communication is key.
Yeah.
Plus, think about surveillance and stuff. That's all going to be easier now.
Okay.
Remember, this is a really sensitive border area.
Right. So tell us a little bit about the Siachen Glacier itself.
Okay, picture this. A huge glacier, right? Karakoram Range. It's controlling all these valleys and passes. It's like a gatekeeper, basically, from Gilgit-Baltistan to Leh. Back in 1984, India took control, Operation Meghdoot.
Wow.
And they've been there ever since.
So from super high up, we're going to history and heritage. Defense Minister, they launched this app. It's called Bharat Ranbhumi Darshan.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, what's that all about?
It's technology meets history, right?
Mm-hmm.
It gives you virtual tours of these famous battlefields and border areas. You can really get a feel for India's military past.
So like a museum, but on your phone.
Yeah, exactly. 3D models of battlefields. You can listen to stories, and you can even plan trips to these places if you want.
That's awesome.
Really cool way to, promote patriotism and tourism and, just understand these landscapes better.
Yeah.
Some of the places, just so people know, it's got the Galwan Valley, Doklam, Nathula, and Sikkim, all places with really important moments in India's military history.
Now, zooming out a bit, global perspective.
Yeah.
There was this World Bank report about Cabo Verde,
Yeah.
little island nation.
Off the coast of Africa.
Yeah, West Africa. And it's a little scary, honestly, the climate challenges they're facing.
Yeah, it's tough for these small island nations that are like on the front line.
Yeah.
Climate change is an existential threat for them.
Hmm.
And this report just screams, we need to invest now. Like, seriously, they need help to get ready for what's coming.
Yeah, and for our listeners prepping for the UPSC, this is key, right? How climate change affects these vulnerable countries. It's not just like an environmental thing.
It's way bigger than that.
It's everything, yeah. Geopolitics, humanitarian crisis, it's all tied together.
And they need a lot of money, right?
Yeah, the report says they need like $842 million in the next 6 years just to deal with climate change impacts.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they've got rising sea levels, coastal erosion is eating away at their land, the storms are getting worse.
Yeah.
Not enough water.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation.
It really puts it into perspective. Climate change is not like some future thing. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
Okay, back to India for a sec. The Tungabhadra River, it's pretty important for that whole region, right?
For sure.
But it's been making headlines, not for good reasons.
Oh, no. What's going on?
It's turning green.
What?
Yeah, in parts of Karnataka, and people are worried, pollution, the ecosystem, all that.
I mean, when a river changes color like that, it's usually not a good sign.
Could be algal blooms, like too many nutrients in the water from farms or sewage. Or it could be like industrial pollution, factories dumping stuff they shouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, it's bad news.
The Tungabhadra, it's a source of drinking water. It's used for irrigation.
Right.
It's got historical significance. Like, the Vijayanagara Empire ruins are there.
Yeah.
So this green thing, it's like a wake-up call. We got to do better.
It's a reminder that development and the environment, they need to go hand in hand.
Yeah.
It's a key thing for the UPSC, that balance.
All right, last one for today. The Pench Tiger Reserve, famous, right? Biodiversity, the Jungle Book, all that.
Yeah, what's happening there?
This time, it's not about the tigers, it's about money, a financial scandal. The income tax department, they found these benami transactions. Basically, shell companies, hidden ownership, all connected to resorts in the reserve.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, corruption, illegal land deals, possibly all happening in a protected area.
Yeah.
It's like they're taking advantage of a place that should be protected for their own profit.
In Pench, it's not just like a tourist spot.
Oh, right.
It's a home to endangered animals. It's a part of India's natural heritage.
Yeah, and this just shows how, like, money and conservation, they often clash.
Yeah.
Protecting our natural treasures is a constant battle.
So to wrap things up, something super important for India's development, right?
Yeah.
Digital inclusion.
Absolutely.
Some news about the PM-WANI scheme.
Okay, the Prime Minister Wi-Fi Access Network Interface.
Yeah.
Amazing idea,
Yeah.
Make internet cheaper, easier to get, especially in those rural areas. What's up?
So TRI, the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, they're saying we should put a cap on how much these internet providers can charge under PM-WANI.
Okay.
This could be big.
Yeah.
Like way more affordable.
It's about, like, making sure everyone can get online no matter how much money they have.
Exactly.
Imagine. Right.
Yeah.
Like the little tea stall down the street, the corner store, they all become Wi-Fi hotspot, people connecting, learning, doing business online.
Yeah, that's the vision of PM-WANI.
Yeah, everyone gets access to the internet. It empowers those communities, at the grassroots level.
It really shows how powerful technology can be when it's used for good.
For sure.
And for our listeners who are, studying for the UPSC,
right.
Remember this, digital inclusion, it's not just about the infrastructure. It's about making sure everyone has the same opportunities.
Exactly.
To learn, to grow,
Yeah, access to information, education, everything. That's what really matters.
Okay, so we've covered a lot in this first part, January 17th, 2025.
It's been great.
Healthcare, space, environment, digital stuff, it's all connected.
It is, yeah.
So just remember, for the UPSC, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, you got to pace yourself.
Stay informed, stay engaged, keep learning.
Absolutely. And, it's not just about memorizing facts.
Yeah.
It's about thinking critically, analyzing, connecting the dots.
Yeah, that's what the deep dive is all about.
Exactly.
If you liked what you heard today, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with part 2, going even deeper. See you soon.
Looking forward to it. It really is amazing, all the different things that pop up on the UPSC exam.
It's true. It's like a giant puzzle.
Yeah.
You got to figure out how it all fits together.
And speaking of puzzles, remember that Pench Tiger Reserve case?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a perfect example of how things like connect.
You're right. It seems like just like a financial crime, but
But it's not just that.
it's way bigger. We're talking about a threat to one of the most important tiger reserves.
Exactly.
It's not just like nature and animals.
Yeah.
It's the Jungle Book.
Yeah, it's part of our cultural story.
Those Benami transactions with those resorts.
Yeah, big red flag.
Corruption, land grabbing. It's like they're trying to make money off a protected area.
Exactly, exploiting it.
For those listening who might not know about Pench, can you give us a quick rundown?
Okay, so imagine over 1,180 square kilometers in the Satpura Hills. That's Pench, right on the border of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. It's got everything. Forests, meadows, and tons of animals.
I hear the birds are incredible there.
Oh, yeah, over 325 different kinds. You've got the Malabar pied hornbill, the Indian pitta. But honestly, the tigers are the stars.
Yeah.
Pench has a healthy population, It's one of the best places to see them in the wild.
And the Jungle Book connection, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Pench is the inspiration for that whole story.
So it's more than just saving animals.
Yeah, it's about our stories, our heritage.
These money problems, they're really worrying, especially with, how important Pench is.
It can really mess things up. You get habitat loss, deforestation, and, more conflict between humans and animals.
Yeah, it's like you can make laws and protect areas.
Right.
But you got to make sure people follow them.
And deal with the real issues, the corruption, the greed.
It's a tough one.
It is. And for the UPSC, this is what they want you to think about. All those different sides to the problem, the environment, the economy, the people, even politics.
Okay, so from the jungle, let's go digital. PM-WANI.
Yeah.
The tariff caps. What are the pros and cons?
Okay, so PM-WANI, this Prime Minister Wi-Fi thing, it's a big deal. It's all about making it easier to set up public Wi-Fi so everyone can get online, especially in those rural areas. Imagine all these small businesses and communities, they become the internet providers.
So instead of relying on these big companies.
Exactly. It's like giving power back to the people. Now, the tariff caps, they're important because they keep the internet affordable, especially for people who don't have a lot of money.
So basically, they're making sure everyone can be a part of the digital world.
Yeah, but there are some challenges. Can we keep the network stable, Good quality all across the country. And security is a big one, too.
Right.
People's data, making sure it's safe. No one's doing anything shady on those public Wi-Fi spots.
So the benefits are huge, but
yeah, gotta have some rules.
to make sure it works the way it's supposed to.
And that's a key thing for the UPSC, Analyzing these big plans, figuring out the impact, good and bad. It helps you think critically, understand how policies actually work.
Now, remember that World Bank report about Cabo Verde?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the climate challenges, but it's important to look at these small island developing states, the SIDs.
Yeah, they're like the canaries in the coal mine,
Mhm.
They're the ones feeling the effects of climate change first, even though they're not the ones causing it.
It's not fair at all.
It's not, and Cabo Verde is a perfect example. The sea level is rising, their homes and everything at risk, storms are getting crazy, more damage, people getting displaced, and then there's not enough water.
It's a lot to deal with.
It is. It affects everything, their jobs, their homes, their culture.
And this idea of climate justice, right?
But yeah, it's about realizing that the people who caused this problem the least, they're the ones who suffer the most. We all need to work together, help them adapt.
For the UPSC, this is important, right?
Absolutely. Knowing about these global issues, how climate change affects development, this whole idea of climate justice.
It's not just about the science. It's about the people.
Exactly. It's about human rights. It's about development. It's even about security. It's all connected.
Okay, back to India. The Tungabhadra River turning green.
Yeah.
But it's a symptom of a bigger problem, water pollution.
Water pollution is huge in India. Rivers, lakes, even the groundwater is all getting contaminated. Sewage, factory waste, stuff from farms, even just dumping trash in the water.
And it affects so much.
Oh, yeah. People get sick, the environment gets messed up, even the economy takes a hit. Contaminated water, it can cause all sorts of diseases. It's especially bad for people in villages and those slums in the cities. They don't have access to clean water.
It's a mess. We got to fix it.
We need stricter rules, better enforcement, invest in water treatment plants, and we got to teach people to be more responsible, Don't just throw your trash anywhere.
And farming, right.
Yeah, we need to find ways to farm that don't use so many chemicals. All those fertilizers and pesticides, they end up in the water.
Water's precious. We got to protect it.
Exactly. It's life. It's livelihoods. For the UPSC, it's key to understand these challenges. You got to analyze, think critically, and come up with solutions.
Now let's talk about something a little more, I don't know, inspiring. Remember that Bharat Run Bhumi Darshan app?
Oh, yeah, that's a cool one.
It's more than just a museum. It's about, like, connecting with our past.
Yeah, and getting young people interested in history, making them feel patriotic.
Imagine being able to, like, walk through those battlefields.
Yeah, hear the stories, understand why those places are so important.
It's like history comes alive.
And by getting people to visit these places, often in those remote border areas, it helps the local economy, too.
Yeah, everyone wins.
National pride, preserving our history, and helping people make a living.
For the UPSC, it's interesting to think about, right?
Yeah, how these initiatives work, what kind of impact they have in India and around the world.
It's all about seeing the bigger picture.
Even those small things, they can make a difference, shape how India is seen on the world stage.
It's amazing, right? Like a river changing color and some new research. It's all connected somehow.
It is. It's like all these pieces.
Yeah.
And you got to put them together, see the big picture.
And that's what we've been doing today.
Yeah.
Siachen Glacier, the digital world, healthcare, climate change. It's been a lot.
We've covered some serious ground today.
Yeah, topics you might see on those prelims.
Absolutely.
But we went deeper, right? Not just the headlines, but like, why does this matter?
The so what, right?
Exactly. And I got to say, thank you. You've been an amazing guide.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. I love talking about this stuff, connecting the dots,
And to everyone listening, remember, this is a journey, right?
Yeah, it's not just about memorizing a bunch of facts right before the exam.
Stay curious, stay engaged, keep learning.
The UPSC, they want to see how you think, how you analyze, how you connect all these different ideas.
And that's what the deep dive's all about, right?
Absolutely.
So if you enjoyed today's deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more. See you soon.
Looking forward to it.